Hi P4-7, we're continuing with the second part of Humans and the First War, taken from our class novel, Norse Mythology for Kids. The Jotnar thought that Honir would be a good king, so they elected him to rule over their homeland of Jotunheim. But Honir did not know how to rule. Every time the Jotnar asked him what to do, he said that they should ask Mimir instead. Mimir was wise and smart, and he had answers, but the Jotnar was angry. They felt betrayed, so they cut off Mimir's head and sent it back to Odin. Odin mourned the death of Mimir. He took Mimir's head, embalmed it with herbs and ointment, and spoke the ancient song magic Galdr over it. This brought Mimir's head back to life, and now he and Odin talk about many mysteries of the world together. When the gods saw all the blood that had been spilled on Idavol during the war, they decided they needed a big, strong wall to protect their homeland of Asgard. They searched far and wide for someone who could build it until they found a man called the Master Builder. The gods asked the Master Builder what he wanted in return for his work on the wall. And he said that his payment should be the sun and the moon and to marry Freya, the goddess of love and war. It was a big request. The gods sat down at their thrones on Idavol and held a council. After much talk, Loki advised them to agree to the deal. When the gods asked him what would happen when they no longer had the sun and the moon and Freya, Loki answered, "I have a plan." So the gods agreed to the Master Builder's terms, but they said that he would have to finish his work in 1 winter. The Master Builder accepted the terms. The Master Builder began working in the late summer. Each day his horse, named Svadilfari, hauled giant boulders, which the Master Builder stacked higher and higher until they reached the sky. The work progressed quickly. And when the gods realised that he might be done before Yule, the time of the high winter, they discussed what to do next. They were going to lose the sun and the moon and even Freya to this man. Thor rose up and said, "Loki, now it is time for your plan. What do you have in mind?" "Don't worry," Loki said. "I have an idea that will get our wall and let us keep the sun, the moon, and Freya." The next day, the Master Builder worked as usual. His horse hauled boulders and he stacked them. But when evening came, the horse became distracted. Svadilfari saw a beautiful mare, white and shining, at the edge of the woods. She was running around, prancing and whinnying. Svadilfari tore his reins and ran after her with the Master Builder on his heels. The 2 horses frolicked and played all night, with the Master Builder running behind them and yelling at Svadilfari to get back to work. Svadilfari didn't listen to his master. Instead, Svadilfari and the mare disappeared into the woods, and the work on the wall stood still all through Yule. Eventually, Svadilfari came back, and the Master Builder continued his work, but he had lost precious time. 3 days before spring, there was still a large portion of the wall missing. The Master Builder went to the gods and said that he could not finish the work before the end of winter. However, he said, "Since I have worked through winter, I should still be compensated. I want Freya's hand in marriage." "No," Odin said, rising from his throne. "The deal was that you would only get paid if you completed the wall before the end of winter, and you have failed." Odin's response angered the Master Builder greatly. He flew into a rage, and as he did so, his body and his face began to shift. The master builder no longer looked like the man they had struck the deal with. In fact, he was a Jotun, an ogre sent to trick them, who had been disguised all along. Thor quickly swung his hammer, Mjolnir, smashing the master builder's skull so it shattered across the world and became all the little pebbles that lie on the ground. The gods did not have to give up the sun, the moon, or Freya after all. But here's what happened with Loki. He was not seen for 12 months after that evening when the mare lured Svadilfari into the woods. Next year, late in the winter, Loki returned to the gods and brought back an 8-legged foal with him. Loki gave the young stallion, black and beautiful, to Odin, and he was called Sleipnir. The wall was still unfinished, but the gods discovered that Sleipnir had enough strength, even as a young foal, to haul the same size boulders as Svadilfari. With Sleipnir's help, Thor finished the work that the disguised Jotun had begun, and Odin keeps his 8-legged horse Sleipnir with him to this very day. And our next story next time will be about Odin, the ruler of the gods. I hope you're enjoying it. Bye.